proud of the contribution the city and the Southwest in general played in the Falklands campaign. Most of the task force set sail from here, and many of the fighting men and the machines they used were based in this area. But even so, there was some opposition to the very idea of a parade. The Lord Mayor, Reg Scott, fought long, hard, and in the end, successfully for it. And today, tens of thousands turned out to welcome their heroes home. The highlight was a flypast of aircraft and Army, Royal Marine and Navy helicopters. Prince Andrew, the co-pilot, in the leading Sea King. Office workers took an early lunch to see the parade. 5,000 school children were given the day off to do the same, and many more turned out to the biggest parade in Plymouth for 35 years.
Responded truly magnificently.
Half-army all. Get your dressing up, stand properly, ladies. Hold speed. Make sure the scabbard's on your left buttock and your brass is central. Right, isn't it? Everybody fixed? Okay, here we go again. Comedies. Hey, company! Huh!
Put yourselves out, sit down on the wall here now.
How long have you been here?
8 o'clock this morning.
8 o'clock?
Yes.
Bit cold, wasn't it?
No, I don't care about the cold.
I like your tip, for
Yeah, buddy, 50 pence.
50 pence?
50 pence.
And a rose, and a flag.
And a flag.
You're going to give a good cheer.
Hooray!
Eyes! Cut!
Give the lads a good cheer, will you?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyway, that's lovely.
So you got your rose. What do you think about that?
Oh, I think it's wonderful. It's made my day, actually. I've come all the way from Bristol to watch my son in this parade, and this young lady, Hazel. And well, it's a great day.
You're going to give a good cheer?
I shall, certainly, yes.
Why are you doing this?
Because I'm a patriot, and I decided at the beginning, when the Falklands was over, shall I send some money to the fund? And the family, it is a family concern, we decided no, we'd give a rose to some of the troops coming back, and we decided on the 4 biggest ships. We met the 4 biggest ships and give everybody a rose.
How many?
10,000.
May I have one for my husband? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
What
you very
ship
much.
was he on?
One of the merchant ships, so the support ships. He's in the Royal Naval Supply and Transport Service.
It looked as though the weather was going to play a mean trick on the parade's organisers. Just 2 minutes before the marchers left the Royal Citadel, there was a downpour. But the weather gods smiled, and as the Royal Marines Band led the 1,200 marchers along Royal Parade, the rain had stopped. Figuring prominently in this welcome home parade were, of course, the Royal Navy. But the Navy personnel chosen to take part in the parade were not just drawn from Plymouth. Many of the 36 naval vessels represented are based in the city, but the organisers went to great lengths to make sure that all branches of the service involved in the South Atlantic campaign were present today. Among the ship's complements on the march were men from HMS Sheffield, the first British ship to be sunk in the conflict when she was hit by an Exocet missile on May the 4th. Survivors, too, from the Devonport-based frigates HMS Ardent and HMS Antelope were present. They were both sunk by the Argentines shortly after the landing on the Falklands. Also represented was the crew of HMS Coventry, sunk on the same day as the container ship Atlantic Conveyor by the Argentine Air Force. It's Councillor Reg Scott, Plymouth's Lord Mayor, who must take the credit for the fact that today's parade ever went ahead at all. There was opposition to the event, but he won the day. It goes without saying that the Royal Marines, too, played a crucial and heroic role in the Falklands conflict. And it's Plymouth which has by far the greatest concentration of Marine bases. 4O Commando, 4-2 Commando, the Commando Logistics Regiment, 3 Commando Brigade Headquarters and Air Squadron, 2-9 Commando Royal Artillery, and 5-9 Commando Royal Engineers. They're all based in Plymouth, and each unit played a vital part in the advance to victory across West Falkland. Then the flypast. The Lynx, Wasp, Sea King, Scout and Gazelle helicopters of the Navy and Marines flying in formation over Plymouth city centre above a crowd estimated at around 30,000. Two RAF Harriers here, close to a Victor tanker which refuelled them in mid-air so many times during the conflict. And then it was all over. The people of Plymouth had been offered and had gratefully accepted the opportunity to say their thank you to the men and women who served in the Falklands.
Well, Plymouth hadn't seen scenes like that for well over 30 years. And after the spectacle and formality of the big parade, a strictly informal lunch in the Guildhall for all 1,200 marchers. The people of Plymouth had had their chance to say thank you to the servicemen and women on the streets of the city. Now it was the chance of the civic leaders to show their gratitude in a more tangible way: food and drink.
While the crowds moved away from their vantage points, the men and women being honoured by this day partook of more Plymouth hospitality. The city's Guildhall was the venue for the largest catering function ever held in Plymouth. Over sausage rolls, cheese dips, Scotch eggs and cakes, brigadiers mixed with able seamen, navy captains with corporals.
Hello, sailors. Are you enjoying yourself?
Yeah.
Did you expect anything like this when you were marching along? The crowds were tremendous, were they?
No, just a quick fighting out, that's what I thought, but you know, this is great, it's fantastic.
Do you think Plymouth have done you proud?
Yeah, definitely.
What would you like to say to them?
Thanks very much, it was great, really great. Nice of them to come. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, the reception when we got back in on the ships.
It's packed. The parade left the Citadel just about a quarter of an hour ago, with thousands of children lining the Hoe shore there, the slopes. And it's making its way round, and in a couple of minutes' time, will enter Royal Parade at the top at St Andrew's Cross. Awaiting them are assembled dignitaries, and taking the salute will be the Lord Mayor of Plymouth, Councillor Reg Scott. It was his idea that this parade should take place. He was very disappointed when the Canberra couldn't discharge its Marines when she came to Plymouth Sound and had to pass by, and vowed that this parade would take place, and this is his big day as well. We can see that the sun has come out, and maybe it will stay with us as the ground forces will pass by. They're assembled VIPs from all the forces, all the services in the Plymouth area, and also representatives in public life, such as local MPs. See the Honourable Alan Clark on the right there. And also sitting with Councillor Reg Scott will be Brigadier Julian Thompson, who was the architect of the whole Falklands invasion. Now, to lead off the whole parade, there will be a flypast. And we're just waiting now for the helicopters and the Harriers to come over and to fly down Royal Parade. There was a fear earlier on this morning that because of the low cloud, maybe the fixed-wing aircraft who will make up the end of the parade couldn't make it. The helicopters, who will come in maybe at about 500 feet, they all seem certain, and we're just waiting for them to come now. Now, with me I have Colonel Tim Donkin from the Royal Marines. I was saying that the weather shouldn't be too bad for them, Tim. The helicopters, of course, can fly in appalling visibility, can't they?
Yes, indeed, they can. And what's more, they had to do so consistently in the Falklands. And here they come now.
Well, here they come. They'll be led by Lynx helicopters from 815 Naval Air Squadron and Wasps from 829, both based at HMS Osprey. There are 3 Lynx from 3 Commando Air Squadron, Royal Marines, Gazelles and Scouts from the Army Air Corps. And what everyone's come to see, there is a V formation of 3 Sea Kings from Culdrose. It's led by a Mark V Sea King from 820 Naval Air Squadron. It's flown by the commanding officer, Lieutenant Commander Rayford Sneed. And there's a very special royal appointment to be met, because in the co-pilot seat of the leading Sea King is Sub-Lieutenant the Prince Andrew. The second Sea King is from 826 Squadron, and the third from 706 Naval Air Squadron. That's the Sea King Training Squadron at Culdrose. And as thousands of faces look skyward to look at them, this is what they can see of us. Passing overhead, 3 Sea Harriers from 800 Naval Air Squadron based at Yeovilton. They became the stars of the show. Down in the Falklands, they shot down 13 Skyhawks and Mirage.
There go the helicopters, 3 Command Brigade Air Squadron led by David Mynord, Major Mynord, and the Scouts of the Army Air Corps.
And on the ground here, the